Get that dirt off this brother.
We can't hear you, KD. You there, KD? You're gonna have to go out and come back in. Or you can't do that because then nobody can let you in.
Can you take your headphones out and maybe we can hear you without the headphones? Well, you got yourself on mute, first of all.
Oh man, he took himself out.
Yeah, no,
You
I
on mute.
I know what it was. I was gaming earlier, and it was connected to my gaming mic thing.
Oh.
Tragic.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, man, how everybody doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Desiree, why you got them CCC headphones on over there, man?
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Yeah, it's connected.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. It seems
I
like
don't have to have the
in
headphones,
it.
but I was just trying to make sure that now I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, it definitely might be them. It might be the internet, man. You got a little party over there, don't you, Desiree?
Hey, bro, popping up. Man.
Oh Lord, hamburger. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get into these doggone these little hot topics. All right. So somebody posted on Facebook today. They was like, I want in-house eggplant, but I don't want him to live with me.
Hmm?
I want in-house,
They contradicting themselves. That ain't
but
that's, that's
these are
contradictory. So pretty much she trying to say she don't want the dude to live with her, but she wants
mhm.
access at all times. But how you
Okay.
gonna get
Right.
access at all times if the person doesn't live with you?
These are the people that I have on my friends list, unfortunately. And the fact that I got a lot of people backing that thing up was crazy, man. Mm, mm, mm.
That's
And
interesting.
yeah.
All right, so I posted a question online today, and it was a lot of people that chimed in, man. Some people felt some type of way about it, but the question was: is the reason most women are single because they overvalue themselves? All right, I'm gonna say it one more time for Desiree. Desiree just came
I
in. All right, so
okay.
is the reason most women are single because they overvalue themselves? Ah,
Mm.
go ahead, Devontae, man.
Either.
The
Oh,
women, the
go
women,
ahead,
they
Devontae.
scared to test this thing, man, for some reason.
No, I was
Say
about to
something.
go, but we was waiting on D to come back in.
Bless her heart. She
I
over there
would
like,
I would say the reason why they're single because they don't know their value. So yeah, mainly because they don't know their value. A lot of times they get with somebody and they can be at a high status and they date somebody lower than their status and they wonder why they getting the short end of the stick. Or they can be at the lower part of the totem pole and they going for these higher status guys and wondering why they can't get them, but they don't really know their worth. Like you need to know your worth and elevate yourself so you can get to that status.
all right, let's let the women chime in before I jump on this thing. We had a lot of
Oh.
we had a lot of doggone comments up under this one, man. This was posted today. Women is the
So
reason
I would
most women
say,
because they
um,
overvalue themselves.
I would
Go
say
ahead.
no. It's not that they overvalue themselves. I would say that again, like what Devontae saying, some need to know their value and know their worth. Um, it's not because they overvalue themselves. I think too is when you know your value and you know your worth, then you have a standard that you're expecting to be fulfilled. When you are out here just dating this person and that person, that doesn't per se say that you're not single, because if you don't have a ring on your finger, you still not married. You still single. So unless it has actually been officially done, you're just out here wasting time because that person really is not fully committed to you in the first place. So knowing your value and having the expectations, and knowing what goals you set is what will determine you from being a wife or continuing to stay single. Some people don't require marriage, but I think it's mostly because they don't really know their worth and their value. And unfortunately, some people are comfortable with not being in a committed relationship or not wanting that. But again, I think it goes back to knowing your worth and value.
All right, so most of the people that's viewing this or whatever that's on my page, they're either approaching 30 or they're over the age of 30 years old. So y'all honestly believe that women, let's just say the women around our age, 30s or whatever, their expectations, y'all don't think that they like overvalue themselves and think that they want or expect something that's pretty much like unreasonable. Like they want a guy that's like six figures, 6 feet, because women they're really really vocal about the things that they want out of a man. I see it all the time on my Facebook page. I don't think that it's women out here saying or most of the things that they want is pretty much like more than what they bring to the table.
Well, there are a lot of women that are like that, um, in regards to that sense of overvaluing
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, those
themselves.
are. Mhm.
But I think it's got a lot more. There's a lot more to it. So that being part of it, them overvaluing themselves, but a lot of it has to do with their behavior, their personality, um, the way they talk down the respect or the lack of respect that they have for these men that are out here. I think it's a lot more to it. Not putting the man first. I think there's a lot more to it than them just over. It's worse than them just overvaluing themselves.
And
Some
it's
of them
just
just don't
another.
know how to be in a relationship. It's hot
They need,
girl summer.
they need to know what their value is and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. 'Cause we had a lot of different people that chimed in on this particular question, and it was this one person in particular. Of course, I'm not going to say her name, but she gave a valid point, and she was talking about accountability. Uh, Let me see. Yeah, she stopped thinking that she stopped thinking I needed to know my value in ad text. I realized I needed to value myself by healing, learning to submit, focus on accountability. That right there is what really stuck out to me when she said focus on accountability, giving love, when I properly value myself. She said when I properly value myself, I learned to value a man because I became more feminine and I softened and I stopped talking and began to listen. I moved differently in a positive manner. Whoo, hamburger boy, good grief. She said, I think we confuse knowing our worth with BS standards that don't apply to relationships. Like most people, they want to put their superficial stuff as far as, what I'm saying, they want pretty much everything. They want the world, but they don't bring the world to the table. Or they don't even bring like half of what they're asking for. We had a lot of people that got pissed off. They got pissed off at me.
Lord knows what you was writing back.
I mean, listen, man. Somebody said, I would say we're not settling anymore. Well, let's talk about that. So it was two women actually that commented up under the post, and they were going a little tick for tack or whatever. I definitely put a stop to it. Like, hey, calm that down. But she said, one of them said, I would say that we're not settling anymore. And I was kind of taken back by that. Like, what do you mean, like, not settling anymore? As far as, now women are able to make their own decisions, right? I guess that's what she meant by that. And she was like, yes, I will honestly say yes. And so I kind of dove a little deeper into it. So I was like, so the decisions that women make now, would you say that women are better off today than they were, 50 or 80 years ago? What do you guys think?
Better off as for
Anywhere, I mean,
what?
like just period, like in life.
In regards to education and finance, I think
Mm.
women have made strides. In regards to
Is that
relationships and
is that wait,
family,
let me pause right here. Do you think that's what's making women happy though? Finances and education.
some of them, unfortunately.
Mm-mm.
What do you think, Devontae? What do you think? Do you think women are better off now than they were, 50, 80 years ago?
No,
What do
not
you
at
what do you
all.
all right, what are the rest of the women on the
I
panel?
think
What do
I
you
think a lot of women. I think a lot of women now are a lot. They're unhappy,
got?
um, lonely. You know, be honest. Because back in the day, it was rare to see a single woman, man. I think back in the day, a lot of women were, they
They had more
main focus
guys.
was to get right. They had more values. They main focus was to get married. You know, a lot of now women now their main focus is a career. So you have a lot of women that they just so focused on a career and trying to secure the bag that they forget about family.
I
And now
think, yeah,
they
so I think what you're
alone.
saying
They
is
are alone.
some women are they're lacking structure. Structure is what,
Yes.
yeah, what most women need. I want Bridget and Desiree to chime
Yes.
in on it. What do you guys think women are today? Do you guys think they're better off now than they were 50 or 80 years ago?
It's depending on a lot of different things, aspects you're referring to. So it depends. As far as a relationship, no, we were better back then. As far as education, we're better now. It's just depending on, how you look at it from which aspect.
I'm thinking about like happiness and all of the other stuff. Women always talk about the happy on the happiness scale. It just seems to me that a lot more women today, they lack the structure that they had, what I'm saying, back in the day or whatever. And I kind of want to dive in a little bit deeper. I don't know what Bridget got going on over there, but I want to dive a little bit deeper. You know,
No, I
um,
mean, I didn't know if Desiree was done. I was waiting my turn.
all right, go ahead, go ahead.
So I would say that I do agree that it is some things to do with structure, but I don't. I think that, like Desiree saying as well, like it does matter for education and stuff because I feel like everybody, male or female, should be able to have an education and pursue a career. I think when the time comes in, once you get married and things of that nature, that's when you sit down to actually look at what that looks like, as far as maybe the wife taking a step back from that career field. But I don't think that anyone shouldn't not go to school just because they're a wife. Um, but I do think that now with everything that's out here and so many personas that have been placed upon people, have lost the importance and understanding the value of what it is to be a wife, and um, to be a woman and do what's needed. Nowadays it's like people choose to be single because even some of the marriages that they see, aren't really happy marriages or the things that is mimicked. It's kind of like they downplay marriage and the power and foundations that's behind marriage. So I think it's really a matter of people being honest within themselves, of knowing what it is that they want and how they see themselves and what that really looks like for them. I think sometimes people end up choosing what people say and choosing what society is doing versus what's really best for them. And I think that's why a lot of people are still single now, because some have not done the underlining work they need to find that structure and to get disciplined where they need to be that wife and kind of deprogram from some of the other things that has been around them.
Hmm. So let's take it to the kids, man. So the decisions and stuff that these women are making now, as far as choosing a guy to sleep with, because the marriage rates have went down a lot since the feminist movement, right? And now women, again, they have the opportunity, the freedom to choose the guys that they see fit to marry, to sleep with, whatever the case may be. So I was saying, now that women have been given the opportunity, they're making worse decisions than what they were back then. That was my argument with all this. Like, we actually dove in deep or whatever. What do you guys think
I
as
totally
far as
agree. I totally agree.
women? What y'all
Couldn't
think
say it
about
any better.
when we start thinking
Worse
about the
decisions
children?
in regards to who they're having children with
Yes,
or having children.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Uh,
What was the question again?
well, we were. I was just basically making a statement about since the feminist movement, you know, women. Well, let's just talk about black people, whatever. We're marrying less. The more that women, you give more freedoms and stuff to women, they're making like worse decisions, and it's affecting our children. You know, back
Hmm.
then when you had more structure, when you had the family and the father choosing the man or whatever, it was more two parent house. I mean, yeah, homes. Kids coming from two parent homes. And now, when you give women the opportunity to pick husbands, uh, the fathers of their kids, you're seeing less two parent households and more single parent households. It was actually two women that were debating with me on my Facebook page earlier and saying that their children was better off with it just being one parent in the house. So my question, yeah, so my question was, are women better off in that aspect? And children, are they better off now than 50 or 80 years ago?
Mm,
It's definitely not
That
better
one is
off
kind
if
of
you're
just
in a single. Oh,
it's
go
just,
ahead.
I think you're gonna get the same I think you're gonna get the same result. You're gonna still have that missing factor. It just depends on what type of mother she is. If you got a strong, smart, independent mother, then you're gonna have a good result. The child gonna come out, pretty decent. If you have the total opposite, then you know what you're gonna get.
What do you mean,
The
like the total
impact.
opposite?
Oh,
Hmm. You talking?
What do
You
you what,
said
do
what
you-
now?
what do you- yeah, what do you mean when you say, like, when you have the opposite? You said, like, if you have a great mom growing up. What do you mean by the opposite? Do you mean like a
Right.
a dysfunctional marriage or something like that
If
with
you
two
have a
parents?
no. So you said is being a single mom better now than it was before?
No. I was
That's what
saying,
you were saying.
no, I was saying that the women that were chiming in were saying that their child or their children was better off with it just being a single parent in the household versus it being two parents in the household.
Oh,
Do you?
I
Yeah. Do you?
disagree with that.
Yeah. Do you?
Right. That's definitely the impact of not having a father figure in the home is is uh is devastating in regards to how children are raised, um, certain gender role aspects that they should be learning, um, especially when it comes to young boys. I don't care. You could be the best mother in the world, but there are just certain things a woman can't teach a man.
I
And I'm not saying
with
that you
that.
may not come out being a great man. However, there are just certain things a man can only teach um, his son. There's a sense of protection and security that's provided to his daughter. And a mother does that too. A mother gives you that love and that caring heart, but it's a man that gives you just a sense of stability and just so much more that a woman just cannot. She can't do. She can
I,
try as much as
I
she can, but I don't feel like she can do it.
I agree and disagree at the same time, Jojo. Because if you have a toxic relationship with two people and they have children, they're not gonna be the best parents. It's gonna be they're not gonna be the best men and women. You know what I'm saying? So if they are separated, you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
because they're too toxic to be with each other.
Before you say that though, Devontae, you got to think about it. You got to be able to separate a man from a
Hmm.
father and a mom from just a woman. I feel like as parents, we need to understand that we're gonna do what's best for our child first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? So as far as
Right,
go ahead.
but you saying like they was better off, being separate from that particular father of
Well,
their
first,
child. That's what
before we even get to that, you need to make sure that when you lay down with somebody, that you really get to know that person before I even put
right.
my seed in you or whatever. So before we even go down that road, you need to understand that. Second, once we get
Right.
married or whatever, because a child needs to grow up with two parents in the household. I honestly believe that.
Correct.
And
Correct.
once we tie the knot or whatever, we get married. At the end of the day, this child
Hmm.
is our responsibility. All
Right.
right.
But I'm speaking of the people you said they was better off being a single parent.
Mhm.
I was talking about with them. I'm speaking on behalf of them because what if their relationship was so toxic that they couldn't be the best version of themselves to become a decent parent, and they feel like
Sounds
they
selfish.
mess off some things because they was going through this tough battle, a relation called a relationship with whoever they was with. You know what I'm saying? I guess in their defense, they felt better to be separate from that individual, but still being a co-parent. You know what I'm saying? The opposite was, I mean, the father was able to visit, the child, but us being together was just too toxic. So in that aspect, being a single parent, I agree with. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
If
I
y'all
think
can't work it out
people
together,
Yeah,
then
but people toss that toxic word around a little bit too much, man. I feel like a lot of people are so quick to jump ship because it's so easy and there's so many other things that you can be out here doing. And I'm gonna say the majority of people don't even really try. They be ready to give up at the first sign of
true.
of anything. They ready to give up.
Hmm. But then you have those situations where the relationship was already over. You know what I'm saying? It was already bad, and they just ended things. And it just so happened before they ended the relationship, the mother ended up getting pregnant. And then you got to try to fake the funk for the child. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those sticky situations. Like, what do we do? We try to make a family, and we already can't stand each other. We already on broke up,
You gotta do what
or
you
do
gotta
we
do
try to
for that
become
child. You
right?
gotta You got to tough it
Right.
out. You got to suck it up for them 18 years or whatever until that child get from up under that roof. Hey, if y'all
Right.
got
But
married, technically it's till death do
mhm.
you part anyway. So whatever
Well, right.
whatever we're going through, we're gonna have to go seek therapy, counseling, and get over whatever the hell it is. Because it was a reason why I put this ring on your finger. It was a reason why I married you. It was a reason why we laid down together and conceived this child. So we need to work out whatever the hell it is. Because I honestly believe anything can be worked through. Anything.
But what if you got a situation and
Anything
like I
worth
was,
having for
suggesting,
fighting for.
Facts.
right, right. But what if the relationship already over and the child just happened to come?
It's not over. That's what I'm saying. If a child comes, then we need to revisit something. It's a reason why we got together. See, me, I'm a firm
Mm-hmm.
when somebody use the word love and all the other stuff, man. That's what it goes back to what I was talking about last week. I love
Mm-hmm.
hard, man. So once I say that I love you and all, I'm not going anywhere. That's it. Like we stuck together. I don't give a damn what you say and what you do. I'm gonna be on the other side of this house. Whenever you get over being angry or whatever, I'll be here. But it ain't no leaving, man. It is absolutely not no leaving for real. That's out of the question. That's right. You ain't said nothing over there, man. You good? You straight?
Mm-hmm. Look like she thinking, pondering on what to say.
All right. Somebody said I
I'm
don't
going
believe
to
it can
say
be worked.
anything to anyone. I haven't had a chance to say anything.
I mean, you more than welcome to
Hold on, we
chime
got
in.
a
We gonna
But
finish.
hey, we got a comment. We got somebody. Chanel Chisholm said, "I don't believe anything can be worked through. These are limits."
There are limits. So what are the limits? Go ahead and chime in. What are some limits? What are some things that you just can't forgive? I'm curious. I'm honestly
Everybody
curious.
around. I want to know too.
Yeah,
You
I
give up.
think the back to the two that you say were chiming in on Facebook earlier on your thing. There's multiple things I think that can go into that. Meaning, some people, like you're saying, that yes, you should work through it, but sometimes if the person's not wanting to grow and be accountable and stretch to do the work that needs to be done, sometimes that can actually be toxic for the child because you don't want to raise your child up under those impressions.
So don't get involved with those
And
type
even
of
if you
people.
are with that
Those times
person
be
and y'all
circle.
did get, huh?
I said so. I
Right,
would
but what
say
I'm saying is that happens to people, so I'm just speaking in general. So yeah, like you said, you should be wise about who you are with and what you do. But I mean, sometimes you don't really see that person until after the fact. I'm not
how
saying
how
that it makes it okay. I'm just
how
saying
long
that sometimes different.
how long does something like that take? Because I'm thinking this is we're talking about children and all the other stuff. You should know the person that you done had kids with. And those
Okay,
people
well,
should know.
I use me for an example. I had my son when I was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was young. I was
Mm-hmm.
don't open your eyes up like that at me. I was young, and I was actually going through some things at home, and I had some other situations going on outside of that. So, due to my own situations at the time when I was with his dad, at the time I thought that everything was perfect, fine, dandy, whatever. Talked about getting married, all that good stuff. But again, we were young. I mean, you can't get
There,
married at
there
16,
weren't
but
any signs beforehand, though. You saying that there weren't any
huh?
signs? You saying that there weren't any signs with the guy that you had a child with? There weren't any signs that you chose to ignore before y'all even
When
got
those
married.
signs came up, I was pregnant.
No, I'm saying, but beforehand, we talking about beforehand. You don't think
So at that
anytime?
point, all you can do,
No, no, no. I'm asking. I'm asking. Beforehand, before you even got to that, were there any signs beforehand?
can't make anybody grow up, and you can't make them change. So you have to sometimes reevaluate. So all I'm saying is it depends on if you really tried and gave everything 100%, if that's really something that is benefiting that child or not, because you can't make someone be a parent and you can't make them be involved or be invested if they choose not to be male or female.
Now, again, so again, I
That's a
respect.
decision they have to make for themselves. Anybody can make a baby. It takes a real man or woman to raise that child.
But the thing is, again, you got to think about the kind of caliber of person that you're laying down with. Do you honestly believe, like with all of your heart, without a shadow of a doubt, without ignoring any signs that the guy that you chose to have a child by didn't show any signs beforehand?
No, I'm telling you, I didn't deal with any issues until after the fact. I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
Hmm.
So at that point, like Devontae was saying earlier, once the damage is done, not necessarily the damage, but like once you decide anything, I mean, all you can do is go from there to try to work it out and try to do something different. And once that actually happens and it happens, then you have to make the determinations on what's best. Do you exclude that person completely? No, but again, you can't make because I there was somebody we went to school with. I'm not going to say any names, but he was a guy and he had a child with the girl and he ended up being a single dad. So again, when you're a kid, and then again, we're talking about kids. We were kids. We ain't no business having sex no ways. So I mean, you
Now, let me
live
ask you
and
a question.
learn.
Let me ask
But
you a
I'm just
question.
saying
Did
that.
you know right from wrong? Did you know right from wrong?
Yeah, I
Again,
didn't say nobody knew right from wrong. I said we didn't have any business
yeah, I'm saying, well, ain't no excuses.
having
You know
sex.
how it is about accountability. It is what
No,
it is.
I didn't have an excuse. I said we didn't have any business having sex. I didn't say, well, I didn't know right from wrong or anything like that. I didn't use an excuse. I said I didn't have any business doing it. That didn't say I didn't do it. It just said I ain't had no business doing it.
Yeah, we're gonna go from there. But no sign. So you didn't see any sign. That's kind of weird to me. You know what I mean? You didn't
Yeah.
see any
Well,
sign.
things happen. I mean, I don't have a reason to lie to anybody. Things happen, and I can be as honest and transparent that I always am, and that's just what you're gonna get. I didn't have any issues or anything, nothing until after the fact. I was pregnant, and so here we go, 9 months. So you
I
know,
can agree with Bridget because the same thing happened with my twins' father. There were absolutely no signs.
Look. Appreciate that, bro. Come
And
on, man. Come through. Hey. We respect it, but no. Hey, come on, dog. You got to be real. We have to be
Mhm.
real about this thing,
Mhm.
I
man.
feel like a child will make or break somebody. It'll show you the full, complete person.
I honestly just believe, it just
I
shows you.
said,
I think that life
oh,
just shows you more of who you are. Just like they say, having money will change people.
Mhm.
I don't believe that. I think that having money will show you who that person really is.
Highlight.
It just shines. It just
Mhm.
shines through. And I honestly do not believe. I
Highlight, yo.
believe that we just choose to ignore the signs. It might be just little signs here and there, but we skip right over them doggone things and be like, you know what? He cute. He played football. He looked good. He got a nice body. He got a nice car. He got a good job. He's paid. The ladies love him. And I'm gonna look over those things. I'm gonna look over them doggone flaws.
but
Mhm.
that wasn't my reasons. There must be them simple minded ladies that be thinking like that.
It don't. I mean, I'm not
But
gonna call those women simple minded because it's a lot of women that do things like that. But you got to be open and be honest about these things because us as guys know. We know. Listen, man, the guy that you dealing with, you knew good and dang gone well that he was not trying to get married. You know what I'm saying? Or even a chick that I used to mess with. Come on, Katie. You knew she was for the streets. You know she done gave head to this person and that person, but you trying to wife her up. Come on, bro. You got to be honest with yourself. See, guys, we have these type of conversations. We can have these type of conversations with each other. We know it's real. Come on, man.
I
we got to
think
start
Hmm.
there.
I think for me, I wasn't looking to marry this guy. Like my situation is a little bit different because um I was being reckless because I didn't the doctor had told me that I couldn't have children. So, I wasn't looking to
That's a
marry this
lot of
guy,
good.
and I wasn't but everything that we did together, there was never a bad moment. We never had what? No, sir. No, sir.
Loaded,
Let me tell you
Let
something.
her shoot the.
Russian roulette.
That was not the case. That was not the case. But every
Let her
time we
shoot the
went
club
out,
up.
he worked hard. I know because I was a supervisor. Um, like he worked hard. He had dreams and ambitions of starting his own business. He started his own business. Um, you know what I'm saying? Every time we went out, he opened the door, paid for everything. He was an absolute gentleman, and we never we sort of built together in regards to how we wanted to build our careers and things like that. And whenever I got pregnant, like literally, he turned his whole behavior, his attitude changed, and not only did it change, um, but I think his thought process on just having kids and he didn't want them, um, it has impacted his life in so many ways. Just him turning into this negative person after the kids.
Oh, he was
Did
just
y'all have
all
a
this.
conversation?
He was just this all positive guy, hard working, trying to start his own business. And then as soon as he had kids, he turned into a negative person.
I kid you not. I
Did y'all
Uh,
kid
have
you
a
not.
conversation about?
this is
Y'all have a conversation about y'all having kids before,
Yeah,
and
neither of
then
us had any intentions to have any children. The doctor had told me I couldn't even have kids. So
okay.
we had these
So
conversations. Like I wasn't looking to. We were never in a relationship. We were just friends, and we just when it came to work, we did our work thing and insurance, and it was never any issues.
so wait a minute. So you said neither one of y'all had intentions on having kids. So he said in the beginning he didn't want to have kids, right?
Right,
So that
right.
surprised you
Like
that
I
he act like a. Did that surprise you that he was the way he was once y'all had the baby?
I mean, it wasn't a surprise, but it was just nothing. The way that he acted was almost it was almost like I had done something to him or done it on purpose. Like even his mom, to the point, even his family, like they don't even deal with the kids because she thinks I trapped him. And that was never, I would never, I have never, I will never. They just think so negatively. Like if you don't want kids, fine, sign over your rights. But if like why it's like he's I'm not even gonna just I'm not even gonna say that and speak that into existence, but I think the negativity is a choice instead of it being on just unconscious thinking. Like it's almost like a way to just try and ruin my happiness. But I I don't speak any ill will or negative. I'm positive about the whole situation, and they don't know how to respond to that. Like if you don't want to do your part, that's fine. I have to do what I have to do for these children. And whenever he asks for the kids, fine, no problem. And I think it bothers him that I'm unbothered, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
Because I'm not gonna
So you
bring that baby mama
Yeah,
so
drama.
you think so you think he intentionally tries to make you unhappy because he's unhappy because y'all had a child together.
Yeah, because there's bitter baby daddies out there too.
Mm. Y'all
There's
so
Maybe
bitter
what?
he
baby
thought we
daddies
were
out
still
there
going.
too. So
Maybe he thought we were
are
still
they
gonna sleep
bitter?
together.
Are they bitter because you made the decision to have the child without them having any say so in the matter? I'm just curious.
I don't know. We would have to
This
ask bitter men, but I've actually talked to a man that was married, and it came from him because he has people he knows like that. And there, the same way there's bitter baby moms, there are also bitter fathers. So I think it depends. I can say for my situation, that wasn't the case. The tables was actually turned. The person asked me for a child and didn't
So
want to do nothing.
here's the question:
But
Is it
anyways,
is it is majority? But let's ask this: is the majority of women having that conversation with the guys that they're laying with, like, do you want to have this child?
He didn't say anything until I was
I'm
7 months
asking
pregnant.
about majority. I'm asking, do you guys believe majority? We're talking about majority.
Actually have the
majority, I would
conversation of what
say
to do with it.
no.
You
Do
mean
you guys
before
think
you
that
get
the reason?
pregnant or after?
Wait. Do you think the reason why most of these guys are bitter is because they didn't have a say so in it?
No, I don't think that that's
No,
why.
no.
I
Come
think for
on,
some,
come
no,
on, dog.
yeah, I'm
Come on.
serious.
Man.
I
I gave
think
you
for
everything.
some,
Sure enough.
seriously, no,
Really?
literally, because I've seen it both ways. I think for some, because they're not ready for the
Majority though. I'm talking about
responsibility
majority.
and the accountability that comes with having a child, and it requires them to do other things, and they're still in their
So they
selfish
didn't want
state.
to have the child
That's
then.
what causes the problem.
So that so they didn't
He
want to
didn't
have
want
the
to
Huh?
have the
child. Is what I'm
child.
asking. So they did. That's what I'm saying. So they didn't want to have the child. They didn't have any say so in the matter. That's the whole reason why I asked the question. Most of these guys
Well,
don't didn't want to have children by these women, and they have them, and the reason why I'm asking is because the women they were complaining on the post or whatever. But it just goes back to: are you honestly having this conversation, this dialogue with the men that you're sleeping with? Are you at least giving them a say so in the matter?
see, I think,
And then they
see,
get
for us,
and
we
then they
did
Yeah,
get
I mean,
have the
I.
conversation.
and then they get mad and they get upset. We're
Mhm.
talking about majority though, but they get mad and they get upset when they get the short end of the stick. But I mean, come on,
Yeah,
he
he
ain't
didn't
doing this.
say
He ain't doing
in
But
that.
regards to
sometimes,
keeping the twins. He didn't say anything until 7 months, and at that point,
Well, we're not.
you,
I want to
it
keep it off of
it
being
it was too
personal though.
late.
I don't want you guys to go
But
too much into your personal life. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you got crazy people on here. I don't
yeah.
want them stalking y'all or whatnot. What have you.
Yeah, I would think though, I would think honestly, sometimes because I've seen it happen too, where men, I'm speaking in general, where men will say they want something, just like they say women don't know what they want. Men will say they want something, but then whenever they actually get it and they see the work behind it, they're like, nah, I thought I could do this, but I can't.
But are we
So
talking
are
about
they having
majority
the
of men,
conversation
or are we talking about
beforehand?
a small selection? Are we talking about majority, or are we talking about a small selection? Do most of
I'm going to
do
say
most of the
majority
men?
because there's a small selection that are actually co-parenting, and there's also a small
Those are guys
majority
that
that are
want to
actually
be a
being
part of.
active
They
fathers.
want children. Okay, so those are the guys that want. We're talking about the guys that don't want to be, or they didn't want to have a child by this chick. She might be for the streets or whatever. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? The condom busted. My bad.
Or
Let me get it
or
out. Let
did
me
the
get it
turkey
out.
baster?
Yeah, they're definitely upset because that's not something they wanted long term in their
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm
in
saying.
their
But
repertoire.
right, but that's the thing. That's back to what you were saying though earlier though. One, yes, you have to have these uncomfortable conversations as we all say, but at the same time you have to be real about it. So if you know that there's somebody you don't want to have kids with, don't be laying down with them, protected or not.
But
Because if that's
listen,
not something you're
the
willing to do
people, the
long term,
majority
you
of
don't need to
people that
be
are
with that
complaining
person.
are who? The majority of the people that are
Mhm.
complaining are the women. So we're talking to those women that are always complaining about the child not being in the kid's life, the child's father not, what I'm saying, paying child support. We're talking to those people that are always constantly complaining. Because most of them dudes that's on child support, they might complain, man, they taking such and such, but you ain't gonna hear out of them. But I see every single last day on Facebook
I
a
think
woman
it goes
posting,
back to
you ain't do this. The child, my child's father don't do that. Like, shut up! Stop complaining. You made your bed and you lay in it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that to those women are
yeah.
constantly complaining every day. Hirsch that
I'm
noise.
not gonna lie, I have a
That's
friend of
true.
girls that just constantly do that.
Yes, yes,
I
Yeah.
it's
have a
every
friend of
day.
girls that just constantly
Yeah,
because
because
it's not
you have to be
necessary.
honest with that.
Because either way, you just have to step up and take it's like I said, you just have to keep the positive
And
and
shut
just
up.
be unbothered by it and just do what you have to do because it's not going to change anything by saying something negative.
No, and I'm talking about it's
Mhm.
every day they get on there complaining.
But at the
I
same
try to do this
time,
and I try to do that.
Because
I think it's the limit. Like,
that's the only way they can get attention.
yeah, like that,
Oh,
like the young lady was saying earlier that was saying there's limits to things. I think there's a limit that has to be drawn to an extent because sometimes when people have not did the work and went to counseling or went through therapy and things of that nature, fix your face, KD.
no. I see a
Nature,
post over here, dog. Hold
then
on,
it
man.
will
Hold on,
actually. Oh, um, when they are dealing with people that actually shut up when they're dealing with people who actually aren't trying to grow up and do what they need to do it. Again, it goes back to the person that you choose to lay down with. So you have to be honest about, you know what, that's who that person was, whether I seen it or not. I done had a chance to step back and see it, and like JoJo saying, you have to step up to the plate. It's unfortunate because now your children have to deal with that. In general, I'm speaking for majority, not anyone specific on the panel, but you have to be mindful. So my advice to male or female actually is going to be, one, wait till you get married, and two, be honest with yourself and don't allow your vision to get clouded about who you're dealing with, because I'm speaking from personal experience as well, but you learn by telling other people so they don't have to make the same experiences and make some of the same mistakes that ends up causing something that it becomes a domino effect. Because sometimes one person, and I've seen this in majority, there can be certain people that's walking the right way, successful, trying to raise their children right, but because of whom they chose to lay down and have children with, those people were still at a stagnant, stuck state, and they're not trying to grow and pursue and do for themselves either. So they're not really benefiting the children because they're not trying to teach them nothing. You can't teach somebody something that you don't have yourself.
This is the most ignorant. You say it's a two-parent household is a must, but it's a woman's fault for being a single parent who was not wanted by the father, who was not wanted by the father. Yo, I can't entertain it because this you can't make this up. Like what the what? Hey, y'all got to excuse some of my Facebook friends. I think they've been drinking. Let me see. What time is it? It's around 5 o'clock, man. I don't know. I think she's been drinking. I think she's been drinking.
He says he's been out of the must, but it's the woman's fault for being a parent to a child.
I don't even think they even need to be entertained, bro. Like what? What? Choose better men. You know what I'm saying? Get married
Yeah.
before you have a child with someone. How do I need to entertain us? We don't need to break it down. That's self-explanatory. Come on, man. Come on. God. Women control access to sex. Close your damn legs. All right? And you won't be having no doggone no crazy dude, no crazy baby daddy anyway. But anyway, let me go and get that off the screen real quick. Somebody said I'm post P-O-S-T to overvalue myself. If I don't, who will? I'm a queen. You can't make this up.
I'm
post. Oh, my stomach.
Read it again. Read it again.
You ain't right. You ain't right, dog. I say you. All right, so I'm I keep a straight face when I say it too. I'm post. I'm post. P-O-S-T. I'm post to overvalue myself. If I don't, who will? I'm a queen. I'm a lady.
Forever, Shanae.
Oh,
Oh shit!
y'all done showed out today. They done show out today, man. What's up, going to say? So I'm gonna say this, man.
Wow.
Hey, I respect everybody that views themselves in that way, man. I do feel like we do need to have, that type of whatever for ourselves, man. You are a queen, you are a king, but at the end of the day, you still need to be realistic about what you're asking for. And what I'm saying is most of the women that are asking for all of this stuff, or even men, y'all not being realistic, man. Come on, you need to be honest with yourself first and foremost. Most of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that these people are requiring or saying that they require, y'all don't even bring half of that stuff to the table. So how are you asking for more than
Mm-hmm.
what you're technically for what you're worth? Come on, man. You ain't even putting in the work. So why should somebody else have to pay more? It don't make any sense, man. Make it make sense. So I don't know if that's pertaining to that particular young lady, but I'm just gonna go by. I'm
Mm-hmm.
posed to overvalue myself, but no, man. We got
That's
another.
that. That reminds me of that. My apologies. My ex came back with
Whoa,
more
whoa, hey,
bitches.
hey,
Bitch, I
hey,
keep myself.
hey, hey, man. Listen,
Everything not being back
y'all.
good.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean this. I don't mean any disrespect behind this, man. Y'all try to keep your personal life like out of this. We try to focus on the majority. You know what I'm saying? Because if we sit here and we nitpick, you know what I'm saying, the story can always go either way. So we always try to focus on the majority to help the majority of people. You know what I'm saying? When y'all sit there and y'all take, well, this particular scenario could be different from. We don't do that here. We don't do that on the show, man. Because we'll be back and forth all doggone day if that was the case. So we don't do that. So again, no disrespect to you, your family, and everything that happened, but I mean, yeah, we just try to keep stuff like that out of the picture, man. It's sad. It's not personal. I have a PhD love. Hey, I respect it, man, but yeah, we good, man. We gonna I understand, but nah, we good. And that's personal. That is personal. That's your own personal business. We good. Hold on, wait a minute. What the heck? Did I? She said, "Did I say something wrong?" You didn't say anything wrong. It was just when you said I'm post to it just threw me through a loop. I just thought it was funny.
I ain't see that one.
Oh, so no, that was actually up under the post that I was looking up under. So all of this whole entire topic was pretty much about that post that I wrote earlier. But like I was telling them, I was just diving in deep to, you know what I'm saying, just put some context or some meat on this bone, you know what I'm saying, behind the question. And again, the question was, is the reason most women are single because they overvalue themselves. I was really trying to hint at, are women making better decisions now versus, like 50 or 80 years ago? And are they happier now than what they were, 50 or 80 years ago? Are they making better decisions that's going to help benefit fit us in the long run as far as our children? Instilling the things that I'm saying our children need to make it and get through life. Understanding how important it is to have two parents in the household. And again, I grew up um, single parent. My mom had 6 kids, so trust and believe. I'm speaking from personal experience. I know what it's like to grow up in a single parent household. It wasn't easy for him, man. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to tend to. I mean, one child, let alone 6 of them. Come on, man. You need all the help you can get, and we have to be more realistic about these things, man. A lot of people just brushing it off. Well, as long as my child is a honor roll student and all that, I respect that. I'm not saying that it makes you a bad parent. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you'll be a lot better off, or the child. Let's just take you out of the equation. Children would be a lot better off in a two-parent household. That's all I was saying. That's what I was trying to get at. All right. So it definitely wasn't no disrespect to all the mothers out there. Again, I grew up from a single parent household. Love my mom to death. Like I will beat somebody. I will beat somebody for my mama for real. But we got to be more realistic about this thing, man, for real. And y'all cannot honestly sit there and tell me that your child and your children will be better off with just one parent. No way in hell, man. No way in hell. And what I'm saying to all the parents, everybody out there, is that we just need to make better decisions. Like Bridget was saying, try to get married. You know what I'm saying? Try to make sure that that person that you're laying down with, that you're having children with, is the person that you plan on spending the rest of your life with. Which means you really done evaluated that person. You're not just having children just to be having children out here. Regardless of who's trying to trap who, I really don't give a damn about this. Because people get caught up in that. Well, it's guys out here that try to trap. Come on, man. Come on, dog.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be better than that. But anybody else want to chime in? Desiree just took her CCC headphones off. Finally. Anybody else want to chime in before we get out of here? I apologize. We didn't have any hot takes today, man. This was only supposed to be like a 30-minute session, but it actually spilled over. Our long podcast will be on Friday at 6:30. All right. Anybody else want to chime in before we get out of here? Because Katie got a game.
Yes,
So I
sir.
gotta get back on my game. Desiree, you wanna say anything today? You've been over there awfully quiet, player.
I didn't want to speak while everybody else, and then when you told me to talk, then Devontae go say, "Oh, we got a message." So I didn't get to
Damn.
It's fine.
Whoa, she
Just
came
throw me
for
right
you.
up on the
Who she
bus
came
for
for?
you. Wow.
Might as well be honest.
Okay.
That's
He
exactly
did.
what
He did cut you off, and I was gonna say something, but he kept talking.
Okay. My bad.
And
All
then,
right, let's
and
go.
then LeCare didn't ask me to answer the first question. He just went in.
He just
I
changed the
didn't ask
question.
anybody. I didn't ask anybody. It was
Damn.
out there. I was just letting people
Okay.
chime in today. I was just asking people to chime in.
Okay.
I could have sworn. Wait. Didn't I ask Desiree like Desiree? You gonna chime in? I could have sworn I said that like 3 or 4 times today.
But
Yeah,
that was
she
the
started
second.
talking. She started talking, and then Devontae cut her off. And then when Devontae read the message, you went to the next question.
That's exactly
It was
what
the same question. It was the same question, man.
Wow.
Wait. The whole entire thing. Wait. I ain't gonna let y'all do this. I ain't gonna let y'all paint this picture now. Hold on, wait a minute.
Wow.
But it's
So
fine.
what
I don't
you-
have anything else to say though.
It was just one question this whole time. It was one question.
She did all that and ain't got nothing to say. Really?
I mean,
Yeah, that's what it was,
now,
Devontae.
y'all
That's
done
what
said
it was.
everything.
Yeah.
She ain't had nothing to say. She was just messing
Okay, well,
around.
it's been good. Y'all have a good evening.
You can't make it up, boy. You can't make it
Off
up.
the chain, bro.
Crazy, man. But yeah, so with that being said, we will be going live Friday at 6:30, everybody. That'll be our main podcast. This Tuesday podcast, just get some stuff off our chest and whatnot. Just a little teaser before the main course on Friday. Friday at 6:30, we'll be live. Everybody be on the panel, and we will be allowing people to chime in. So we got 3 people that have been asking to be a part of this podcast. So I will actually drop the link when we're ready. I'll drop the link and allow people to chime in or whatever. If you want to cam up, feel free to, and you guys will be able to join the panel on Friday. Just remind me, because I will forget. All right. Anything else before we get out of here, people?
Desiree.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for chiming in, y'all. Thanks for your comments.
Have a good evening.